Well, you're probably the guy then if you got keys. Man, I tell you what, if I can get everything in this week, everything in today, get keys and everything, I think I listed 9 this week, which is like absolutely insane. So I'm not 100% sure I've slept. So but hey man, so let's get started here. Hey guys, this is Jason Morris with Real Estate Agents That Really Work. September 30th, 2016. I wanted to do this today because this marks the end of the third quarter. We're down to crunch time for 2016, and honestly, you're either on track to hit your goals for the year, or you're so far off track it's probably not even funny. We got about 12 weeks left. So for me personally, my 2016 is really over. I want to finish the year out strong, but what I really want to do is I want to set myself up for 2017. For me personally, 2017 is going to be a lot more about building a team and building income that's a little bit more passive. I don't want to go out there and work hard for every dollar I make in 2017. So what I want to do with you guys is I want to take you through the same process and thought process that I've gone through personally the last few weeks and what I'm going through. So I called this conference call 17 Things to Do in 2017. So the first thing you need to do is you need to just evaluate where you are. You know, all of us need to figure out where we are, how many deals we've done, how many do we have pending, how many fell apart, that we have absolutely no control over. You know, reach down and be really honest with yourself about it all. If your business is coming from putting out business cards on tables from Dunkin' Donuts, you need to be honest with yourself about where the origin is coming from. You know, we'll talk more about this in a few minutes. Number 2, you need to make a list of every service you're paying for and do an analysis of its profitability. So, if you're subscribing to Time Producer, not using it, you need to cancel it and find something you will use or that better suits your business. Right now, you've got 90 days to try things out and look around before 2017 starts. You know, once you're in the middle of the year, you're in the spring, you're going to be busy as hell, and you can't really change things because you don't really have time to change things. You just don't have time, and if you try to change everything you're doing in the middle of the spring, it's going to cut into your profitability. So number 3, you need to do a full analysis of your market. I've talked to a lot of people about this lately in my workshops, but what you need to do is you need to take a spreadsheet, put price ranges across the top and municipalities across the side. So go through the last 12 months of MLS sales and fill in this spreadsheet. For example, I'm in Myrtle Beach, so I've got all the little townships down one side, prices across the top. So I got like Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, Garden City, Myrtle's Inlet. Once it's finished, though, you can see exactly what's selling in your market. And you might want to do this for each property type. You might want to do like residential homes, condos, new construction. You do land. You know, it's going to take you 4 or 5, 6 hours, but when you do it, you're going to be able to see exactly what's selling. So and you're going to be able to see little pockets in your market, like for me, for example, like there's parts of my market that you could actually see, like there are certain areas that under 125,000, like, you know, 90% was selling. So you're going to be able to see little pockets in your market when you do this analysis. But number 4, what you need to do, this is a marketing term I learned when I was in college. If you guys that are on Facebook Live, I'm sorry my PowerPoint isn't as good as what it could have been. But number 4, you're going to start doing a SWOT analysis. You want to analyze what your strengths are, and this is your personal strengths that are productive to your business. You know, if you're really good at watching Netflix, you know, don't put that on the list. You know, but put what you're really good at and what you're really good at generating business with this year. So if you're really good at converting buyer leads or for sale by owners or expireds, you want to put that on the list because you want to find the things that in this past year that you really excelled at and you really done well with. If your strength was working with buyers, you want to put that down, because maybe you want to work with more buyers in 2017, but you really need to start going after and ramping up the business you're good at. The next thing you want to do is you want to list all your weaknesses. Identify those things that you really suck at. And like for me personally, it's paperwork. But you want to identify what held you back in 2016. Did you suck at keeping schedule? This is the time of year you work on those systems to overcome those issues and problems. One of mine that I want to do more of in 2017 is I don't like going to local networking events. I don't like standing there. I don't like the people that are fake. I don't like dealing with all that stuff. But I know that if I go and I meet new people and I expand my sphere of influence, I know it's going to help my business, And we all should go to a few of those things. But look for what your weaknesses are. If your weakness has been, calling expires, calling for sale owners, maybe you want to start looking at your scripts and dialogues you're using, look at your presentation and see what things you can actually improve on. Number 6, opportunities. There's always opportunities in your market and stuff. What opportunities are there in your market that you're not taking advantage of? Or what personal opportunities are you not taking advantage of? Maybe you have like a really, really big sphere of influence and you're never contacting these people. Or maybe, your office has an enormous past client database from agents that left and you're just not, nobody's working it. Those are just fantastic opportunities, to look for in your market. So, like the market analysis, what holes are there? I had that little area in my market that 90% of the properties listed in a certain price range sold. I was floored, so that little area, I'm all over any for sale by owner, any expired, whatever pops up in that area. I know that 90% of the properties under 125,000 sell. And I know if I go out there and list one of those for sale by owners or expireds or withdrawals, that's going to be just a guaranteed paycheck for me. So number 7 is actually threats. We don't like to talk about what threats there are in the real estate industry. What companies are coming in and changing the way we're doing business and the way business is done, but it's going to happen. You need to look at your surroundings. Is there anything that's going on that might affect your business or affect your market? Maybe your office isn't doing well and they're wanting to change the commission structure, or they're losing agents rapidly. You just need to be aware the world is changing at a rapid pace. And I'll tell you guys, I've been in the real estate business almost 13 years. And compared to 13 years ago, technology is absolutely amazing. And it's going to get better in 2017 and 2018. One of the threats in your market, and this is all over the country, the number of agents coming into the market, again, is crazy. In the state of South Carolina, we have real estate schools that are actually selling out classes. So if your market had 5,000 agents, if it had 5,000 agents last year, you're going to have 6,000 in 2017. And if the market keeps going, you're going to have 7,000 in 2018. Even though the number of transactions might go up, the average number of transactions are going to go down. But number 8, this SWOT analysis. Numbers 4 through 7, that was the SWOT analysis. Once you do those exercises, you need to look over it, put some thought into it. There's going to be strengths that you need to capitalize on. There's going to be weaknesses you can fix. If it's scripts, you probably just need to practice more. If it's a schedule, you guys can get an accountability partner. But you need to constantly work on improving those weaknesses and constantly look for what opportunities that you can take advantage of. So, but number 9, this is the time of the year that you need to start working on upgrading everything. Everything needs an upgrade. We got 90 days left in the year. We got Christmas coming up. If you feel like you need to dress a little more professionally, hey, there's going to be a lot of people asking you what you want for Christmas. But this time of year, we need to look at upgrading everything. In the next few months, a lot of your competition is going to be taking off work. And, for us, we really can't afford to take lots of vacation time in the fourth quarter, but you can work on improving everything. Work on your scripts, work on your pre-listing package, work on your presentation, work on just upgrading everything, during the next 90 days. Number 10, one thing that you need to work on and that we all can improve on is you need to look at your schedule, for the next 90 days. You really need to get your next 90-day schedule nailed down as soon as possible. What are you going to do for the holidays? What are you going to do for Thanksgiving? What are you going to do for Christmas? Schedule the time off. Schedule Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Figure out what days you're working and what days you're not, because this time of year is crucial. In 30 days from now, most of your competitors they're going to take off for vacation. And what you don't want to happen to you is say, hey, you take off 3 days for Thanksgiving, and that 3 day turns into 6 or 9 days. And next thing you know, you haven't prospected or anything for 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. Number 11, this next 90 days for you guys, especially the newer agents in the business, this is full-on listing season. I mean, like I said, in 30 days, all your competitors are going to be going into coast mode. They're in vacation mode for the rest of the year. They aren't going to be doing anything, like nothing. They're going to be hanging out, drinking coffee, watching whatever new season is on Netflix. But this next 90 days, you can go out, you can list a ton of properties. You can double up your calls, triple up your calls, and it's so much easier because that listing, that house that you went on the listing appointment 2 weeks ago, and there was 5 other agents, when you go on a listing appointment in December, it's probably going to be just you. I mean, there might be another agent that shows up, but it's probably just going to be you. But, number 12, one thing you need to do is you need to set your goals for 2017 already. Listen to the video I done where I broke down how to make $1 million a year selling real estate. And, go ahead and figure out a goal for 2017 and start putting those pieces together. I'm doing this right now for myself. I want 8 buyers transactions a month in 2017. I figure right now that for me to get that, I need 4 buyers agents doing 2 deals a month. If they get 3 deals a month, that's great. But the way I'm looking at things is I need them doing 2 deals a month, and I need 4 to get the 8 that I want. So I'm looking for my 4 buyers agents right now. That way I can have them ramped up, I can have them trained, I can have them working on my systems and producing by January 1st. So on January 1st, I'm not starting. When I hit January 1st, I'm going to already be running into 2017. Number 13, to figure out a January 1st goal. How many listings do you want to have on January 1st? What do you want to have on place January 1st? This is the time of year to go out and get those listings. The easiest way to hit your goal next year is to start ramping up this year. So if you want to sell 20 houses in 2017, how easy do you think it would be to achieve if you started 2017 with like 10 or 15 active listings? And right now, you got 12 weeks, so you got plenty of time. If you want 10 listings by January 1st, that's just 1 listing a week until January 1st, and you can still take off 2 weeks. You can still take off a week for Christmas and a week for Thanksgiving with no problems, and still get 1 listing a week and start January 1st with 10 listings. So the rest of the items I want to talk about, are some just thoughts I have that I don't believe any of us are really taking full advantage of, and I've been looking at it myself, and I really want to take advantage of it the next 90 days and going into 2007. Number 14, we need to get a list of our sphere of influence together as soon as possible. None of us really do this like we should, but we have 3 times in the next 90 days that are perfect contact times. We've got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas and New Year's. So this time of year, if you need an excuse to call your sphere of influence, or you can't figure something out, then I am not sure what the problem is, because we got 3. We got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, and we got New Year's. So we have perfect times to call your your friends, your family, your past clients, and not really talk about real estate. You call them up, just say, hey, how are things going? Message them through Facebook. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. How are stuff going? How's things going? So this is a perfect time of year to call your sphere of influence and get your list together and start working on it. Number 15, Facebook ads and boosting post. Guys, we got an opportunity here, and it's not going to last forever. I mean, some markets are already ahead of me, and I'm behind on some of this stuff. I got a page with 65,000 likes on it, and I feel like I'm behind. But there's a tremendous opportunity to gain attention and generate leads on Facebook right now. Most people just talk about generating seller business through Facebook ads, and typically, I just typically talk about working with sellers because I'm not good at working with buyers. That's a weakness for me. So that's why I'm hiring buyers agents, because I want to take advantage of this. But right now, Facebook ads are cheap and boosting a post is really cheap. I mean, I'm having days right now where I'm paying less than 10 cents per registration on my website. And my website clicks are costing me less than a penny a click right now. Well, I had a couple of days where I was down to 1/4 of a cent per click on my website. And, it's kind of crazy. I mean, right now, like I did a bunch of tests and I did a bunch of stuff, and I spent $57, including tests and including me playing around and doing all kind of stupid stuff that I knew wasn't going to work or I didn't think was going to work. And I generated almost 300 buyer leads last month. So, spend $100 testing it out in your market, learning how to do it, and then ramp it up and scale it with buyers agents. Even if you're spending $100 a month, even if you can only spend $100 a month and you're really bad at it, and you're only getting, 100 leads a month, you're paying $1 a lead, hire as a buyer's agent. If they can convert 1% of those a month, what's your return going to be on that? And what kind of database are you going to get from doing that? What would one buyer's agent referral pay you this month that cost you $100 to generate? And this isn't going to last forever. These Facebook ads and stuff that we're getting really cheap, and this attention that we're buying really cheap, there's going to be corporations like Zillow, and there's going to be other corporations that are going to start doing this themselves here in the next 6 to 12 months. And what they're going to do is they're going to use our data. They're going to generate leads on Facebook and with Facebook traffic, and they're going to turn around and sell those leads back to us at a insane, crazy markup. So, I mean, right now is the time you got to take advantage of it. Number 16, Facebook Live. I'll tell you guys, I've been playing around with Facebook Live. And so I'm doing the conference call and recording it, but then I got Facebook Live going in my group, and I actually have more people on Facebook Live watching this than I actually have on the conference call right now. But Facebook Live on your business page is a huge opportunity right now. It's going crazy. You do it for 5 minutes, you do it for 10 minutes. You tour property or something, you tour a neighborhood, then you can go in and you can edit everything, and then you can boost it. I've got a page that I've been playing around that's got 100 likes on it and stuff. I've done some Facebook Lives that have got 3 times as many views as I've had likes on the whole page. I mean, your reach right now is tremendous with Facebook Live, and that's not going to last forever, guys. I mean, that's at some point Facebook is going to change their algorithm. Right now, they're encouraging you to do live and video directly on the platform, but at some point, they're going to change their algorithm, and Facebook Live is not going to get that same sort of reach for free. It's going to cost you to get that reach. So right now, we've got a huge opportunity to generate leads and business and expand your personal brand through Facebook Live. And I just believe that is just a tremendous opportunity that all of us, really nobody hardly in the real estate industry is taking full advantage of it right now. But number 17, in real estate agents that really work, I typically talk about prospecting and the basics of sales, but I really believe that we need to be out there creating content on the more popular platforms so that you can claim just a little piece of that space for yourself and you can look like a real estate agent. if you're out there making expired and for sale by owner calls every day, I guarantee you people are looking up Jason Morris Myrtle Beach and Jason Morris Real Estate and things like that right now. And they're searching for me to make sure that, number one, that I'm really a real estate agent, what I'm telling them is true, and that's fine because I'll tell you, like, people are skeptical. They're more skeptical of us than they ever have been before. But, I'd be skeptical too if I had a random guy calling me from Craigslist and I wasn't in the industry. It's a crazy world we live in, and we all need to make sure that we're showing up online. We have some sort of internet presence. We need for the general public to be able to find us easily. So, 2017 is going to have some changes for us as agents. I believe there's going to be a shift, and I know there's going to be a shift. I mean, I should repeat that to you guys. There is going to be a shift in the real estate market. Now by a shift, I don't necessarily mean the market bottom is going to drop out and just fall out like it did in 2008. We could experience an economic dip. I mean, we're in an election year, in an election where nobody knows what's going to happen, and some weird things could happen. I mean, I remember in 2000 when there was some controversy over Gore and Bush, the stock market fell kind of rapidly, and nobody knew who was going to be our president for a little while. So, I keep reading that fundamentally the economy's in good shape, but there's a lot of conflicting news out there. But right now, as real estate agents, we have two other factors at play right now that nobody's talking about much in our industry. Number one, the market is pretty good across the country. These real estate agent classes, new agent classes, are selling out. 2017 and 2018 for most of you, we're going to have more competition. If you've only been in the business 4 or 5 years, or this is your first year, 2017 and 18, you're going to have more competition than you ever had before. And I got news for you guys. I'm 35. These kids that are coming in the market, I call them kids because they're 20, and 19, 21, 22. These guys are smart. I mean, they grew up with technology. I mean, I remember when I was in high school, I was one of the only kids that had internet at my house. Now kids, they have internet that they're carrying around in their pocket. Everybody has a smartphone. I mean, these kids in this industry are smart. They grew up with technology that a lot of us that are a little bit older didn't. They watched 10,000 hours of real estate YouTube videos before they even got their license. I mean, these new agents, they're going to take market share from you. They're going to take over the digital landscape, and that's why we need to start building our presence. You need to be diligent about building your presence. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be more diligent. You're going to have to be more aggressive than you ever had before, and you're going to have to constantly step things up in 2017 and 2018 so that you stand out and you're more professional than these guys that are smarter than you coming up. You're going to have to work harder than them. I believe that the number one agent in the world, the agent that will be number one in the world in 2020 probably does not have a real estate license today. There's going to be somebody that's going to come in. They're going to be a really smart guy. They're probably going to graduate from a big college, and they are going to dominate the internet for real estate. I really believe that. The number one real estate agent in 2020 probably is not licensed today. The number two factor we need to look at is technology. We're about to see a massive shift in the technology. We're already seeing companies like Zillow, Realtor.com, taking our data, they're generating leads with it, then they're selling it back to us. And I mean, it's almost common to hear agents talk about paying for some service that's a big, big company, and they're just going to get more and more common. So, what I'm looking for in the next couple of years is these companies like Zillow to actually start directly employing agents in their market in test markets. It's going to happen. There's going to be one of these big lead generation companies that are going, hey, we're leaving too much money on the table. What if we started hiring our own agents and we started taking 20% instead of $200 a month, or we started taking 50% instead of $200 a month? The technology's there, it's just not being used. I mean, back in 2008, during the real estate crash and the foreclosure boom and stuff, companies like Zillow and Trulia didn't really exist back then. The technology we're using didn't really exist. I mean, I remember in 2008, 2009, we didn't really have a CRM like we had today. Not everybody had stuff that. Not everybody had Market Leader. I mean, Boomtown was like $1,500, $2,000 a month. This is going to happen. Technology has changed so much since 2008, 2010, 2017, 2018. It's just going to change more. So, I hope you guys have gotten some ideas and strategies, for 2017. So I got some time for some questions. I mean, the first one is Jeremy talked about Redfin. Jeremy, the thing about Redfin, what it tried to do, Redfin come into the market. It wasn't really real estate guys. They were more tech guys that started the company. And I researched Redfin because honestly, I thought Redfin was going to be the next thing. But what Redfin tried to do was it tried to change the way that people were buying houses, and which is really, really hard to do. They tried to change it to more of a do-it-yourself type thing. They tried to pay agents a salary rather than paying them a real estate commission. And honestly, Redfin's raised a lot of money, but I don't really feel like it's worked. I mean, they're actually doing referrals in some markets now. So, EXP was the other company. That's the company I work for. And EXP Realty, it hasn't changed the way people buy property, but they're using technology to change the way we operate as real estate agents. So yeah, I don't really, there's going to be something new and there's going to be something that changes. But I believe in the disintermediation of the agent. I believe that there's always going to be agents involved, and I believe that people want like an experienced person to represent them. And, so I think there's always going to be a place for us and a purpose for a real estate agent to help sell and all that stuff. But, I don't think that real estate agents are going to go away. I don't believe that at all. I mean, we might see, we're already receiving a lot of pressure on commissions, and we're already seeing a lot of companies coming in and trying to take more and more of our commissions. And I think that's going to continue to happen. We're going to see, our commissions get more, more diversified, I guess you'd say. That normal commission that you're used to is going to end up being split up more and more. I mean, if you look across the industry, there's more companies. I mean, broker review fees, transaction fees, E&O fees that are separate from the split are becoming common again. But Jeremy, what about controlling lead sources by telephone prospecting? That's what I do. I think that we should all be prospecting. I think that as more larger companies come into the internet space and it gets more difficult to generate leads online, I think it's going to get more and more important to generate your own business, to self-generate. I mean, I think the number one way to do that is get on the phone calling expired for sale owners, withdrawals, even calling neighborhoods. I mean, so I think that's going to get more and more common here the next few years, and I think it's going to be, it is the most profitable way to find business right now, is to buy data from a company like RedX and go out there and actually generate your own leads. But how can you differentiate yourself in the marketplace? You need to step things up with a certain level of professionalism. Make sure that you're using a pre-appointment package or pre-listing package. I mean, I'm giving mine away at jasonmorrisprelistingpackage.com. Use those sales tools and start working on your sales skills. I mean, I think that's going to be the number one way to differentiate yourself. If you're going to do it through the internet, you need to do videos, do things that actually display your knowledge on the market. And I think that's going to be the number one way to differentiate yourself in the next few years, is displaying your knowledge and your competency, basically, and improving your sales skills. So, what's my take on door knocking? I don't personally door knock. but there's a lot of agents that do it. They're really successful. For me, I'd rather spend 2 or 3 hours on the phone. I feel like I can touch more people. and I can go after warmer leads like expireds for sale by owners withdrawals. Where door knocking, you're going to knock on a lot of cold doors that have never had an interest in selling. I mean, I feel like I can get to more people on the phone than I can walking door to door. So I don't do it, but there's a lot of agents that are doing it and they're actually making it work. Define what I mean by sales skills. By sales skills, have your pre-listing appointment package. Practice your scripts and dialogues. Practice what you're doing at the appointment, the questions that you're asking. I think that's really important. Farming. I'm not a big believer in mail farming. I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not, but postage is so expensive, and it's so expensive to do mail right now. I don't feel like it's really just the effective thing to do right now. And a lot of times, if you're going to expireds, if you're going to expired's house like 5 days, 7 days after it's working, and I think Jeremy's comment kind of ties into yours, the conventional way of farming. But yeah, if you go to an expired listing appointment like 5 or 7 days after expired, man, they'll have a stack of expired letters and postcards and stuff sitting on their table sometimes. And two, I think that we all get so much junk mail. I think that gets kind of lost in the clutter. I do believe if you're going to do mail and you're going to farm, like, say, a 500 house neighborhood, I think you need to do something in addition to that. Like, maybe you need to call that neighborhood. Maybe you need to call the neighborhood, door knock the neighborhood, do some open houses in your farm area. Really get your name out there so you're like a celebrity in that neighborhood or that area. So I don't think you can. I think just mail by itself, you're not going to get as much impact as what you should be. But people farming past clients. Yes, I think that people farming past clients. Add those people to your sphere of influence. Keeping up with them, building relationships. I think that's probably one of the most effective things to do. I think along with calling expireds for sale by owners, that's your sphere of influence is a close second to that, for sure. So, what other questions do you guys have? What do I think a good Facebook ad looks like? Jeremy, for me, man, the things that I've had the most success with on Facebook is not really running an ad, but actually boosting a property or boosting a listing. I seem to be having way more success boosting listings than actually running ads. So I would, what I do is either look at your personal inventory or look at the listings in your office. Call some of the agents in your office and say, hey, can I market your ad, or get their permission, and then make a good post, have a link, have a good picture on there, and drive them to, some sort of CRM. I mean, I'm using Conversion, and Conversion converts people to actually registering like crazy, but I think it's not an ad. I think it's just boosting an actual listing. That's what I'm having the most success with. So what did I say in the post? You can actually look at my page. It's Myrtle Beach Real Estate Guide. So facebook.com/Myrtle Beach Real Estate Guide. So what I'm doing is actually I'm boosting the listing, and I'm just putting just a few details in it. Like I might have, if it's qualifies for 100% financing, I'll have it in there. I'll have it at the top. I'll put some details about the house. I'll put click here for more pictures or more information about the house. And then I put a link to my website. And then under it, I'll put all my brokerage information. I mean, I believe that you got to put your broker's information there. I think that I think every post you got to do it. So I've been doing it just because I feel like it's the right thing to do. I'd rather do it and overkill with putting eXp Realty in my post than not do it and have a problem later on. So I got a few more minutes here. What other questions do you guys have? Well, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming on this conference call with me. Who do I boost it to? Jeremy, I actually boost to the surrounding area. So I'll do like the city plus like 20 miles or 25 miles. And what I'm doing is actually property. What I'm having the most success with is actually properties that I feel like are the something a primary residence person is going to buy. So I feel like the person that's buying that probably already lives somewhere in that area. So I'm boosting like 25 miles around it, and I'm boosting, and that's really what I'm doing. Is boosting 20 miles around the area. I'm not really getting into like what their interests are and stuff like that, just because I probably could drill down a little further and bring my lead costs down some, but right now I'm just having success doing a 25-mile area. I'm having people tag people in the post. I'm having people share it and share it with their friends and stuff like that. Do I believe partnering in your office? I do not believe in partnering unless you're talking about building a team with other agents. I personally believe that, and this is just me, and other people are probably going to disagree with me, but you got to look at the reason you're partnering for. Are you partnering with them because you want to split marketing cost? Are you partnering with them because they're a strong listing agent, you're not, or they're a strong buyer's agent, you need a buyer's agent? What happens with partnerships sometimes is at some point, like somebody's going to want out of the partnership, and then you got to figure out what to do with it. I would be more apt to look for a buyer's agent or hire a part-time assistant or something like that rather than having like a full like 50-50 type partnership. And a lot of that's from personal experience and having different kinds of partnerships before. If I can do it by myself or hire somebody to do it, or hire somebody to do it, for part of the commission, and it be, you're part of my team, you're not technically my 50-50 partner in my business. That's what I would do. I would not partner up 50-50 with people. I think that's a bad choice. I think it's going to limit you growing in the future, and I think it's going to create problems for you in the future, especially as your business grows. The good partner today might not be the good partner for you a year from now. So what other questions do you guys have? Hey, no problem. Hey, well, I appreciate you guys coming, and I hope you guys have a great day, have a great weekend, and if I can help you guys, just message me through Facebook, and I'll be glad to help you out. Have a great day.